been doing affirmations now for over 8 years, and I started when I started seeing people getting hyped up about it, and I was like, well, I gotta see what is the hype about. Why is everybody so into this new thing called affirmations? And I decided to go into YouTube, and I went into YouTube and I started looking at affirmation tapes, and I picked one and I said, okay, you know what, every night I'm going to try an affirmation, and every morning I'm going to try an affirmation, because they see that in the morning and in the night, 1 hour before, after you wake up and 1 hour before you go to sleep, you are supposed to play these so you could reprogram your mind to think a certain way and to have positive thoughts. So I started doing that. Now after a while, I started to see that things were happening different in my life, and maybe it's because of the way that I was thinking differently. And everybody has bad thoughts from time to time, and a lot of people are just drenched in negative thoughts, because think of it this way. In the tarot cards, we have the Ace of Swords, and then that Ace of Swords turns into peace, then peace turns into sorrow, then sorrow turns into truth, then truth turns into science, then science turns into fatality, then fatality turns into interference, and then interference turns into cruelty, and then ruin is the last card, Ten of Swords. So swords is represented by air, and air is represented by thoughts, by mentality. So what started off with a potential, which was the Ace of Swords, ended up with the Ten of Swords, which is ruin. It's the most negative card in the whole deck. So what it's trying to tell you is that after that negative card, which is the manifestation, the 10 suit, then you have to reprogram yourself. You got to start all over again. And a lot of people don't know this, so they get stuck in a negative thinking mode of everything, and the Ten of Swords, what it represents is, that thought, that mental state when you hate everybody and you just hate the world and you just don't see anything positive to anything, that's when you need to reprogram yourself. So I started doing this 8 years ago, and I took it one step further. I decided to record my own voice, that way it could engrave even more deeper. So I recorded my voice, and I did affirmations for every chakra, and I got a CD of a Reiki healing CD, and I started to record my voice, do different affirmations for every chakra, and I would do it before bedtime. I wouldn't do it in the morning, because in the morning, I'm not a really morning person, so I really didn't want to hear anything in the morning, but I did do it at night. And I tell you what, it just completely changed my life. This is something that I do recommend people to do if they're feeling like, they can't think positive. And if you have difficulty thinking of anything, positive at the beginning, because you just hate your life and you're in that state that it's already gone too far, just start with the little things. You could always do things. You could always customize your own affirmations to your own way. But if you don't know how to customize it, like if you're new to this, then just go to YouTube, just watch a video, just hear it and see which one resonates with you the most, So I did this one, and I started with the root chakra. And what I did was I started saying what I already have, even though I didn't have certain things, I tricked my mind into believing that I already have, That's how you're supposed to say affirmations. You're supposed to say them in past tense. So I started to trick my mind saying, okay, for example, I have long hair, okay. And one time I cut my hair really short, and my hair was falling off because I had a ponytail and a very tight bow all the time, so it just kind of started falling off. And I said, I'm just going to do the affirmation, that it's going to grow back to the length that it was. So I would say, I have my hair long, I have this, I have that. And I did that for the root chakra. And then for the sacral chakra, what I would do is I would do the gratitude affirmations. I customized it to say, I'm grateful for having a family. I'm grateful for having my pets. I'm grateful for having this. And I did it for every house in the zodiac. Now, for the solar plexus chakra, what I did was I inserted my will. Like, I can go here. I can go there. I can do this. Anything that I thought was impossible, I would just add I can, for the solar plexus. For the heart chakra, I would say I feel or I love. I always start with loving yourself, and I would say I love myself, I love my family, I love my pets, and I would go through every individual thing, in that day that brought me joy, or made me smile, And if it's not, if you don't have anything around you, try to think of small things like a tree or a bird that you saw, or a bee, even an ant, anything that would make you, love. Just bring that loving feeling by saying I love this, I love the snail, I love I love the clouds. I love the way the day is, the breeze. You start with that, you know, and you start building yourself up to bigger things. Okay, that's how I did it. Then I went to the throat chakra. Then I would say the I am strong, I am spiritually connected, I am emotionally stable, I'm emotionally aware, you know, I am powerful, you know, I am happy, most importantly of all. And then when it came to the third eye chakra, I would say something like will, knowledge, daring, and silence, which is the 4 virtues of the Sphinx, you know. And then I would say something like, you know, just to remind myself of these things, these little things in life, so I could apply them the next day. I would say something like, you know, treat others the way they treat me, do what I can, the rest leave it to God, you know. And, you know, then I would just fall asleep, you know, saying this. Sometimes I would fall asleep during the sacral chakra if I was too tired, maybe in the root chakra if I was very tired. Or maybe I would just fall asleep listening, you know, to the ending. But it made a difference the next day, because the next day I wasn't thinking like I was, you know, and things weren't manifesting with the negative thoughts that I used to have. So it really does work. So if you really need to change your thoughts, you know, because you're constantly negative and the negativity is just, you know, breaking you apart, you know, this is the best way to start, is to reprogram yourself, you know, with the air element, which is your thoughts.